My people, when the drum sounds twice, it means the story is not finished. This is a story from Umuokoro, a village where the red earth holds secrets and the wind carries the dreams of two girls. This is the story of Amara and Tenny, two friends who once shone side by side until a shadow of envy moved between them. In the warm town of Umuokoro, where the red dust kissed bare feet and market women sang before sunrise, two girls were born in the same year. Amara came first. She was born into a family of women shaped like carved goddesses. Wide hips, soft curves, flat stomachs, long legs. Even as a child, the old women would shake their heads and say, "This one, she will cause trouble for men." Her mother would laugh. "Trouble? No, she will cause destiny." Tenny was born 3 streets away. Slim, straight, narrow hips, long arms like a dancer. She was beautiful in her own way, but in a town that worshipped curves like royalty, beauty had categories. The girls met in primary school. They shared lunch. They shared secrets. They shared dreams. When boys started noticing girls, they noticed Amara first. At 14, she already had the shape of a woman. At 15, grown men would slow their cars when she walked past. Amara hated it. Tenny watched. One afternoon after school, they sat under the mango tree. Tenny stared at Amara's waist. "How are you shaped like that?" Amara laughed. "Shaped like what?" "Don't play with me. Your hips, your stomach, it's not normal." "It is normal in my family." "You did something." "Did what?" "Don't lie. Did your mother give you herbs? Did you drink something?" Amara shook her head. "Tenny, my grandmother looks like this. My aunties look like this. Even my little cousin is already growing like this. It's genetics." Tenny didn't believe her. From that day, the questions never stopped. "What cream do you use? What waist trainer? What tea? What secret?" Each time, Amara answered softly, "Nothing." But envy does not hear truth. By university, the difference became louder. Whenever they went out together, the room shifted. Men would offer Amara drinks. Men would pull chairs for her. Men would whisper. Tenny would sit beside her, smiling, pretending. Inside, she was shrinking. "Let's go out tonight," Amara would say, and Tenny would agree. But every night ended the same way. Amara surrounded, Tenny invisible. One night in a club in Lagos, a man said something that broke her. He leaned toward Amara. "Your friend is pretty, but you are dangerous." Tenny heard it. She smiled. She drank. She went home and cried. It started quietly. Scrolling. Before and after pictures. Doctors abroad. Payment plans. BBL. Brazilian boot lift. A new body. A new life. She imagined walking into a room and watching heads turn for her. She imagined men choosing her first. She imagined finally standing next to Amara and not feeling small. She didn't tell Amara. She didn't tell anyone. She told them she was traveling for business. The surgery was in another country. The clinic was clean. The doctor confident. "Trust me," he said. "You will look amazing." The pain was not what she expected. It wasn't just physical. Her body rejected the first procedure. Swelling, fever, infection. She almost died. On the hospital bed, machines beeping, she thought, for what? For hips? For attention? For competition? But when she recovered, the mirror still disappointed her. It didn't look right. Uneven, hard, artificial. She went back for a second surgery. More money, more risk, more silence. Months passed. Amara texted, cold, no answer. The friendship that once breathed daily went cold. 6 months later, Tenny came back. Different. Her hips were larger now, her waist tighter, her walk rehearsed. It looked better than before. Not natural, but improved. She posted pictures online. The attention exploded. Men flooded her comments. Body goals, fire, dangerous. For the first time, she tasted what Amara had always tasted, and she liked it. When she finally saw Amara again, it was at a restaurant in Victoria Island. But something was different. Amara was glowing, not just physically, peacefully. Across the table sat a man in a tailored suit, calm, confident, wealthy. His name was Chike. He didn't stare at Amara's body. He looked into her eyes when she spoke. He held her hand like she was treasure. Tenny felt something twist inside her chest. "I disappeared," you said, softly. "I needed time." Amara smiled. "You look different." Tenny straightened. "Better?" Amara hesitated. "You look like you went through something." That answer burned. Chike walked Tenny to her car after dinner. "You and Amara have been friends long?" he asked politely. "Since childhood." "You're lucky." Lucky. The word echoed. Amara had the body. Now she had the man. A wealthy man. A serious man. A man with plans. Tenny went home restless. She stared at herself in the mirror. Even after surgery, even after risk, even after almost dying, she still felt second. It started as curiosity. She followed Chike online, learned his interests, his business events, his favorite restaurants. Then she started coincidentally showing up. Same gym, same lounge, same charity gala. She wore tighter dresses, louder perfume, longer eye contact. Chike remained respectful, distant. One evening, she said it plainly. "Have you ever wondered what it would be like with someone different?" Chike's expression hardened. "You are Amara's friend." "Wah," she corrected. He stepped back. "I don't entertain betrayal." That should have ended it. But envy does not accept rejection. It escalates. Amara found out, not from gossip, from screenshots, messages Tenny sent Chike late at night, suggestive, desperate, hungry. Amara drove to Tenny's apartment. No warning, no call. When Tenny opened the door, she froze. The silence between them was heavier than years. "Why?" Amara asked. Tenny laughed, but it sounded broken. "You've always had everything." Everything? The body, the attention, now the man. Amara's voice trembled. "You almost died trying to copy me." "I did it because I was tired of being invisible." "And now?" Tenny's eyes filled with tears. "I'm still invisible." Amara stepped closer. "You were never invisible. You just refused to see your own light." Tenny collapsed onto the couch. All the surgery, all the pain, all the competition. For what? To chase someone else's reflection. The town began whispering about the surgery, about the betrayal, about the desperation. But whispers do not stop destiny. Months later, Chike proposed to Amara. A quiet engagement. No drama, no competition. Or so they thought. Tenny saw the announcement online. Amara smiling, a ring shining, Chike holding her waist like she was priceless. Something inside Tenny did not heal. It cracked. For weeks, she told herself she had changed. She told herself she had grown. She told herself she had accepted it. But when the date for the traditional introduction ceremony was posted, her hands began to shake. "This should have been me," she whispered. The compound was full. Drummers, family members in colorful attire, women ululating in celebration. Amara stood radiant in red and gold, glowing like royalty. Chike beside her, calm, proud. Then, a car door slammed. Heads turned. Tenny stepped out. Not in simplicity, not in humility, but in a tight, dramatic dress that screamed attention. Her curves exaggerated, her face set like war. The whispers began instantly. "That's the friend, the one who almost died, the jealous one." She walked straight through the crowd. No greeting, no smile. Straight to the center. "Stop this!" The drums fell silent. Amara's mother gasped. Chike stepped forward. "Tenny, what are you doing?" Tenny's voice trembled, but it was loud. "You can't marry her." The crowd erupted. Amara stared at her. "Tenny, don't do this." But Tenny was already unraveling. "You think she's perfect?" she shouted at Chike. "You think she's innocent?" She turned to the crowd. "She acts calm, but she always knew I was struggling. She knew I felt small next to her. You let me drown in comparison." Amara's face hardened. "I never competed with you." "You didn't have to," she screamed. You were born winning. Silence. The drums still. The wind heavy. Chike's voice was firm. This is not love. This is obsession. Tenny's eyes filled with tears. You would have looked at me if I looked like her first. You would have chosen me. No, he replied quietly. I chose her because she is at peace with herself. You are still fighting yourself. That broke her completely. She looked at Amara, really looked at her. Not at the body, not at the glow, but at the steadiness. And for the first time, Tenny realized she wasn't fighting Amara. She was fighting her own reflection. Her shoulders dropped. Her voice cracked. I almost died trying to beat you. Amara stepped forward. You were never in a race. Tenny fell to her knees. Not dramatic, not theatrical, broken. The crowd watched in stunned silence. I don't know how to stop comparing, she whispered. Amara's mother signaled for the drummers to wait. Chike extended his hand, not to pull her up into love, but to help her stand as a human being. You stop, he said, by choosing yourself. Tenny stood slowly. She looked around. The whispers no longer mattered. For the first time, she wasn't trying to win. She walked away, not defeated, not victorious, but aware. The drums resumed, stronger this time. Amara and Chike completed their ceremony, but the story did not end there. Because sometimes, my people, the loudest battle is not between two women. It is inside one heart. And that day, Tenny finally began fighting the right enemy, herself. The wedding ended in music, drums, laughter, gold and red fabrics dancing in the wind. Amara and Chike were officially husband and wife. The town of Umuokoro slept that night, believing the storm had passed. But storms do not always roar before they destroy. Sometimes they wait. The sun had barely risen when the first whisper began. Not in the market, not in the village square. Online. A post. Anonymous, but detailed. Before you celebrate her as a wife, ask her about the clinic in Lagos. Ask her about the married sponsor who paid her rent. Ask her how natural she really is. Attached were edited photos, blurry images of Amara stepping out of a building, a screenshot of a fake payment receipt, a caption, "Goddess or gold digger?" By noon, the entire town had seen it. Phones buzzed, voices lowered, eyes shifted. Amara was in the kitchen of her new home when her cousin rushed in. "You need to see this." She read it. Once, twice. Her hands went cold. Chike came behind her. He read it silently. His jaw tightened. "Do you know who did this?" he asked quietly. Amara didn't answer, but she knew. By afternoon, the second explosion came. A video. Tenny, crying, makeup smudged, holding what looked like a pregnancy test. I didn't want to do this, but I can't stay silent anymore. Chike, I'm pregnant and you know it's yours. The town froze. The same people who danced yesterday were now holding their breath. The video spread like wildfire. Comments flooded. How could he? So the quiet one was pretending. She tried to warn us. The wedding joy turned into public trial. Inside their house, silence sat heavy. Amara looked at Chike. Tell me the truth. Chike's voice was firm. I have never touched her. Amara searched his face. Not his words, his eyes. He didn't flinch. Meanwhile, Tenny sat in her apartment watching the numbers rise. Views, shares, sympathy. For the first time, the attention was hers. But it didn't feel powerful. It felt desperate. Her phone rang. It was a private number. She answered. Tenny? Chike's voice. Calm. Dangerously calm. You have until sunset to delete everything. Silence. You can't threaten me, she replied, trying to sound strong. I'm not threatening you. I'm protecting my wife. And I have proof. Her stomach tightened. Proof. You forget, he continued. I own the building where that fake clinic receipt was supposedly issued. That location doesn't exist. Her heart skipped. And as for your pregnancy, another pause. Medical records don't lie. She swallowed. He knew. He knew she had not even been cleared medically after her second surgery. There was no pregnancy. There had never been a night. Just obsession. By evening, the truth began surfacing. The clinic in the rumor closed 3 years ago. The sponsor, a photoshopped image. The payment receipt, a fake template traced back to Tenny's email. And the pregnancy test, a prop from a staged video. When confronted publicly by one of the bloggers who originally reposted her video, she froze during a live session. Can you show hospital confirmation? The blogger asked. Tenny hesitated. The silence said everything. The comment turned. So you lied? You tried to destroy her marriage? This is wickedness. The sympathy evaporated, replaced by judgment. That night, Tenny sat alone. No music, no applause, no comment praising her, just darkness. She opened Amara's wedding photo again. Not to compete this time, but to calculate. Tenny stared at Amara's wedding photos again. The ring, the smile, the applause, the peace. Peace. That was what hurt the most. She had tried to steal a body, then a man, then a reputation, and still Amara stood, married, untouched, unshaken. And Tenny? She was the villain in everyone's mouth, except in her own, because in her mind, she was the victim. That night, something in her hardened. "If they already think I'm wicked," she whispered to her reflection, "then let me be wicked properly." Instead of deleting the lies, she doubled them. A new video dropped. Not crying this time. Calm, controlled, dangerous. "You think I lied?" she said into the camera. "Why would I lie? Ask Amara why she blocked me. Ask her why she begged me to stay quiet before the wedding." It was subtle, but powerful. Now it wasn't just about pregnancy. It was about secrets, about hidden conversations, about things nobody knew. She released voice notes, edited, clipped. Amara's words cut out of context. "I can't deal with this right now. Please, let's not ruin everything." To the internet, it sounded like guilt. The comments exploded. "She's hiding something. Why would she say that if she was innocent? The quiet ones are always dangerous." Inside her new home, Amara's phone would not stop vibrating. Her mother stopped answering calls. Chike's business partner started rescheduling meetings. Invitations disappeared. Smiles became stiff. And for the first time since the wedding, Amara felt small. Not because of her body, but because of public shame. "Do something," her cousin urged, but Amara refused to fight online. "I will not turn my marriage into content," she said quietly. But silence was being mistaken for guilt, and Tenny knew it. She went live again, this time with fake hospital documents, blurry enough to avoid inspection, clear enough to spark outrage. "I never wanted to expose her," she sighed dramatically, "but I won't let them silence me." Donations started pouring in, sympathy messages, support, strangers calling her brave, the attention she always wanted. But this time, it came soaked in poison. Then she escalated. She posted a long message. "I have more evidence. If anything happens to me, just know the truth was buried." Now it wasn't just gossip. It was danger, threat, mystery. The town that once danced at Amara's wedding now whispered like a funeral was near. Amara finally went to Tenny's apartment. No cameras, no makeup, no performance. When Tenny opened the door, she was smiling. Not warmly, triumphantly. "Are you happy now?" Amara asked. Tenny tilted her head. "You look tired." "You are destroying my marriage." "No," Tenny replied softly. "I'm exposing the truth." "What truth?" Amara's voice cracked. "That you couldn't stand beside me without feeling invisible? That you almost died chasing my reflection?" For a moment, Tenny's smile faltered, but only for a moment. "You think you're innocent," she snapped. "You walked through life adored while I swallowed dust." "That was never my fault." It felt like it. Silence, heavy, dangerous. "You want peace," Tenny continued, "then confess." "There is nothing to confess." "Then I will keep going." And she meant it. That night, another post appeared. A countdown. 3 days until the full story. Now the entire town was waiting for the explosion. But what Tenny didn't know was that Chike had hired a digital investigator. And lies leave fingerprints, IP addresses, edit histories, metadata. By the second day of the countdown, proof surfaced. Screen recordings of Tenny editing voice notes, templates used to fake documents, the original pregnancy test photo downloaded from a stock image site. When the evidence dropped, the internet turned violent. You lied? You tried to ruin her? You're sick! Followers vanished. Donations reversed. Support collapsed. The same crowd that crowned her victim now crowned her monster. Tenny sat in the dark again. No applause, no sympathy, just her reflection. She had escalated the lie so far that the fall broke something deeper than reputation. It broke illusion. The next day, she went to Amara's house. No phone, no makeup, no performance. When Amara opened the door, there were no insults left, just exhaustion. "I wanted to hurt you," Tenny admitted, "because I thought you hurt me just by existing." Amara's voice was steady, but her eyes were tired. "You didn't just try to hurt me. You tried to erase me." Tenny's tears fell freely. "I know. You attacked my name, my marriage, my peace. I know." A long silence. Then Amara said something that cut deeper than anger. "You don't need my body, or my husband, or my life. You need help. Not revenge, not insults, truth." For the first time, the war inside Tenny was louder than the noise outside. And this time, she couldn't blame Amara for it. My people, envy does not destroy the one you target first. It destroys the one who feeds it. And sometimes, the wedding is not the climax of the story. The chaos after is. Because when lies are louder than truth, only character survives the storm. And in Umuokoro, everyone was finally seeing who had it and who never did.